Hi, my name is Vicki Odell. I'm the creative goddess. And here I have 40 yards of furniture webbing that I got off eBay. Why, you might ask, do I have 40 yards of furniture webbing from eBay? Well, normally when I do my Christmas decorations around here, everything's really kind of over the top and lots of glitter and very opulent. And I decided this year I wanted to pull it back a little bit, make it a little grungier, a little more industrial looking, and add some elements with a different kind of texture. So I decided that furniture webbing would be a really great way to go. I can make the garland around the tree, I can make the garland for over the mantle, and then in a national catalog and a national magazine, they're also doing furniture webbing for part of their displays. Don't you hate it when that happens? When you come up with a really good idea and you turn around and everybody else is doing it? Whatever, I'm doing it anyway. So let's set this aside. I have two 9-foot garlands. The reason my garland is so long is I want it to go up like near the ceiling and hook onto the wall and then drape a little bit and come down. So I want it kind of long this time. I have the two garlands and I tested them, plugged them into the wall to make sure they work. I can't tell you how many times I've started on a design and got most of the way done and found out the lights didn't work. Now that'll make you crazy. So we're gonna plug the two ends in. And then we're just going to overlap just a tiny bit here. It's all fluffed up and nice and pretty. Please do us all a favor and don't hang up wreaths and Christmas trees and garlands and whatnot without fluffing up all the needles and making them look a little more natural, because when they come right out of the box, they're all smashed. Anyway, we're taking some branches from both garlands and we're just giving them a little twist just to kind of marry the two garlands together and give it a little strength. We're also going to use this really great binding wire from Oasis and the Knit Bex cutters to just give it a little extra something there. So we'll just take a piece of this and cut it off. Always pull your wire from the center, otherwise it'll go spraying everywhere. I'm going to work in the ends of the electrical cord when I tie this too. So I just put that in there, give it a good twist. And I've got the two long pieces of garland joined together, and then we're going to work in our furniture webbing. So we're going to take the garland and kind of slide it down here so that you're working on the end. You're going to need a little room to work on this project, so it's time to clear off the dining room table and lay things out. If you do this on the dining room table though, I would suggest to put out a sheet or a blanket or something on the table, just so that the little bits of wire in this don't scratch up your table. That would not be good. All right, so we're going to use little pieces of the binding wire and the humongo roll of furniture webbing here. I gotta take the pin out, find the end, and I'm just gonna sit it down here so that it rolls a little bit better for me, okay? So I'm going to start and I'm just going to gather up the end and tie this on. Just a couple of twists. This is a lot like the floral tape covered wire that I make, but it's already kind of done for me, so I don't have to sit and cover all that tape, or all the wire, I mean. All right, so I'm going to add this in here. Just around the base part of the garland and give it a good tug. Don't worry about the end showing here. The pieces of pine can come up and cover it, or we'll cover it later with some other greenery and some flowers, so that's not a big deal. So then we're going to pull down a little farther and try not to knock things on the floor, and we're going to take another bunch here, wrap the wire around it. Wait a minute, I did that upside down. I want to wrap the wire around it. Let's cinch it. And then again, I'm going to secure that to the base. And then where all these places where we put the wire, we are going to cover that up, so don't worry about that, okay? So give that a good twist. And I'm going to keep going. Okay, so I've got the last of that furniture webbing in here. I'm going to give it a good cut here. Just cut it off. You need some heavy duty scissors like these Westcott scissors to cut through this stuff, especially if you're going to cut little pieces of it off for various crafts. All right, so I have the webbing worked in, and I like this, but I don't love it. So I'm going to add in some more greenery. Okay, so I've protected my table a little bit with the pad from the hot glue gun helpers. I have a pot of hot glue, and I have a little bit different greenery. You know, it's green, it's almost the same shade of green, but not quite. And it's got just a little different texture. So I'm going to snip it off, and I'm leaving myself kind of a longish piece of the wire left on here so that I'm going to dip it in the glue pot, and I'm just going to tuck it in here. And do you see how this is, I mean, it's already starting to fill this out. And now it's just one piece. So we're just going to go in here and randomly, and it can get on the furniture webbing. That's no big deal. And it really doesn't even hurt the lights. The lights in these garlands don't really get all that hot. So having the fabric there, having the glue is just really not going to be that big of a deal. And I don't leave my lights on overnight when I sleep or anything either. So that's another kind of a safety thing to keep in mind. So I'm just going to keep cutting pieces of this greenery that I have, and I'm going to work the length of the garland. I also have another even kind of garland, and this one again is green, but it's just got another texture to it. So, and it's a little bit longer. So we're going to might as well work both pieces in while I'm, oh, let's make a mess. While I'm doing this all at one time. Let's stick that in the end since it's got nice and gluey. So there again, we're adding more texture, same color, a little more texture. Sometimes it's just easier to rip it out. So I'm just making it easier on myself by doing both kinds as I go down the garland. Okay, I've got all of the extra greenery in, and now I'm going to get a bowl of pine cones. I'll sit them over there. And I'm just going to put a few, and mostly I'm just dipping them into the hot glue. Be careful not to get burnt. And I'm mostly just kind of putting them in where I have bound the furniture webbing, just to kind of cover that up a little bit more. I also like them because they give it another color, another texture, just a little more oomph. You know, I always laugh, or actually my creative friends laugh at me, and they always say that I'm a graduate of the More is More School of Design. Not only did I graduate, oops, I missed one, but I think I went back to teach because I like more. Okay, one more of these. Right about here, and I've already done some of the pine cones at the end here. And if you want a natural look, you could easily stop here. But like I said, I like more, so I'm going to add more. So I'm adding in the last few of these sparkly poinsettias. I'm just dipping the stems into the glue. I cut them off, remove the labels. Nothing like sitting on the sofa and looking up and seeing a label in your garland. Shake off some of the excess glue, and then we're going to just lay it in here. Make sure it goes along some of this base pine so that the glue sticks to it really well. So we have a little bit of sparkly here. Let's add some more. We're going to add these sparkly Christmas ornaments in with what we've got. We're just going to take a little bit more of this binding wire. And you could glue these in. They are shatterproof ornament, which is a really nice way of saying they're plastic. So just put the binding wire through there. And then we're just going to wire that in. Okay, so I'm tying the last few ornaments in here. You don't need much of the binding wire, just a short piece. Slip it through the ornament hanger and give it a little twist, and then when you take it to the garland, you know, you can just wrap it around. I made sure it was in all of this base garland, the original pine, and you can just wrap it around a couple of times and then bend that over if you want to make sure it's secure. I think I'm done for now. I want to hang it in the space and see how it looks and if I need to fill in any other holes, but so far I have something that's a little opulent but yet a little industrial, and I really like it. My name is Vicki Odell, the Creative Goddess. Please stop by and see my website at vickiodell.com, and don't forget to delight in a creative life.